The Code 3. A live podcast sponsored by the Marin Fire History Group. All about the history of the fire service in Marin County, California. And now your host, retired Fire Chief Bill Lellis. You're live. Go.
Good day, and welcome to the initial broadcast of the Marin County Fire Chiefs Historical website. We are very excited about the opportunity to tell you what we have done and what we hope to do in the near future. As you all know, we have been collecting historical information about the Marin County Fire Service for about 5 years now. Under the guidance of Tom Forrester. We now have a new website, and we will be broadcasting, we hope, on a monthly basis on a number of occasions of information. Let's tell you who is on the website right now. The editor is Fire Chief Bob Marcucci, retired from the City of San Rafael Fire Department. He started his fire career in 1960 and retired as fire chief of the department. Our editor, our webmaster, is a gentleman by the name of Dan White, a San Anselmo native, Drake High School graduate, College of Marin, was in the ambulance business. He ran the Bay City Ambulance out of Marin County for a number of years. Went into communications, installing communication systems in fire departments such as San Rafael, Novato, San Diego, all around, and now is the owner of Share a Vision video photography business. And he is going to be our webmaster, and he will do an excellent job of presenting us with our information. Myself, I'm called the roving editor. My name is Bill Lellis, retired fire chief out of the city of Larkspur. I started my career with Larkspur Fire Department in 1958, and I'm currently the fire marshal for the Rodeo Hercules Fire Department. So here, what we hope to do is we're going to try to remember Tom Forrester and what he has done for this website and what he has done for Marin County's fire service and the fire service in California per se. He created a treasure chest of information that we now have on the Marin County Fire Chiefs website. And what our plan is to go into this cave where all of these jewels are and pull one out a month, or pull 2 or 3 out a month, do a Reader's Digest compression of the articles that are in the treasure chest so you can review them, see them, and then if you want to go back into the website, you can read the entire article, which some are very, very long to watch. We will be presenting a live video broadcast like this one every month. We will be presenting a video of an interview with a former fire chiefs or fire service personnel that we have been conducting over the last 5 years. We have taped pretty much all of the retired fire chiefs that are living. We have videotaped some civilians who have a major impact on the fire service, such as the CAM siren. So we all started 5 years ago. The team consisted of Forrest Craig of the San Rafael Fire Department, Pete Martin of Marin County Fire Department, myself and Bob, Tom, and Dan White. That was the makeup of the team. And since Tom's illness and passing, we haven't broadcasted or added for over a year. So this is our intent. We had to get permission to get the website from Tom and now bring it back to the Marin County Fire Chiefs. And now we are the owners of the website, and we will be, as I said, broadcasting on a monthly basis. We posted a number blogs already this month. I hope you enjoyed this month, the month of March's blog, talking about San Rafael, the jute mill fire at San Quentin, and the history of the San Rafael Fire Department, and a series of what was first in America. Since this was our first blog, I thought we would cover some things that were first. But San Rafael was the first fire department organized. An article was written by Captain John Williams of San Rafael, retired, wrote that article. The jute mill fire is a combination of articles in the paper and myself and Tom. And so the next broadcast will be out the second Wednesday of April, and we have that ready in production. We'd like to have you questions. If you have any questions, please submit them, and we'll broadcast them, try to answer them live if we know the answer. And if we don't, we will look it up, and we'll get back to you on the next video. It's a very simple process. We really are anticipating you, the viewers of the fire service, to participate and contribute to the website by adding and submitting articles in history of our fire department, photographs that you may find that would reflect our history. And to give you an example, we just received a photograph of a Kentfield gym fire it was an advertising on White manufacturing of fire trucks, and it happened to be the fire truck of Kentfield at the gym fire in San Rafael. And it was a very unique. This gentleman happened to come across our website, saw it, and found this photo and a whole series of advertising photos and submitted it to us. And this is the kind of information that we would like to have you submitted. We've had people from as far as Florida and stuff talk to us about things that when they lived in the county. So there's a lot of resources out there for us to still gather and still edit and put out for a broadcast. And again, ask any question you want. And what you'll see is we're going to call it the monthly blog is going to be called the Code 3. And to explain to you, you'll see the lead-in of this particular day was a picture of the Code 3. That Code 3 is a stamp that was issued by the United States to recognize 300 years of volunteer firefighting in America. And as you can see, it was built in 1947, 300 years since Amsterdam was discovered. What you'll see on the left-hand side is lots first hand pump were made in America. The first two hand pumpers made in America came from England. This was the first one developed and designed here in the United States. On the right-hand side is a fire truck that, and I'll ask you to look at it, and there's an iconic image that is missing from that fire truck. See if you can determine what's missing from the fire truck. And then a picture of Peter Strauss, the first fire chief and first person in America to institute fire watches and penalties for having fires and not following the curfew laws of the time. So that's a very unique piece of history, just that stamp. But it took 300 years to get it out to be recognized. So it'll be called the Code 3. We want you to participate. In the last month or so, we received a number of contacts, and one of the contacts we're looking forward to working with is the gentleman by Anton Souza, the son of the late fire chief of San Anselmo. He has a wealth of information on the San Anselmo Fire Department, and we're looking forward to having him writing and contributing articles and photos of the San Rafael Fire Department, the San Anselmo Fire Department. The question of studying history, why are we collecting history? Because history, if you just simply think of when you entered the fire service, what the fire service was about, what were the equipment we were using, the types of hoses and breathing apparatus, and look back now 25, 30 years since you entered and think about what the fire service is now have. No more open cabs. Everybody can almost live, a family could live inside an engine now, the way it's all encapsulated. all the safety equipment that now the firemen have to wear, and all for the good, all learned the hard way through an incident or an accident to a fireman, and that we now adopted as part of our daily safety standards for ourselves. Let me ask you a couple simple questions to think about your history and your fire department. The question I would ask you is, who was your first fire chief? How long ago he's the first fire chief? In Larkspur, for example, our first fire chief came about in 1897. 1897 was our first fire chief. He served for a year. In those days, fire chiefs were elected yearly, elected on December and took office in January. Another question you could think about, just simply thinking about history, who was the first female suppression firefighter your fire department had? Most likely a volunteer, but it went to the fires and worked alongside the firefighters. So, what was the fire department's first firehouse? Where was it located? In Larkspur, it was a wooden shack, and truly a shack, but it was where they kept the hand pumpers. That's all they had to do, is hose carts and hand pumpers. So they didn't need a big station as they have now. So if you just think about that as it relates to your career and try to research that history, that's what we're looking for. Maybe one of you will come and stumble across a nice piece of history, a nice image in a box in someone's attic, and that's what we're looking for. So we hope you contribute and find that kind of information. And again, this website is your website. It's only going to be as good as you can help us with. We will be giving you a Reader's Digest of all the articles that have been written. We are constantly adding information to the website, doing research. A lot of newspapers around America have now been digitalized, so we have access to those. And a lot of books are out now that where we find history, but we're interested in Marin County's fire history. And again, San Rafael was first, San Anselmo was probably second, Larkspur was third. We were established in 1897. We established a fire department in Larkspur. 13 firefighters came forward after they lost the Larkspur Hotel a few years earlier. It burned to the ground. And so the community was very concerned about. And in those days, Larkspur was like the place to go. It's like going to Reno or Las Vegas. And without the hotel, it was so easy to get here by ferry boat, on the train stopped in Larkspur, get off, and you were in Larkspur. So it was a very popular place. San Rafael was a very popular place. So we established fire departments. So there's a lot of history out there. I appreciate the time that you've taken to watch this video. Look for what we're going to show you now is a gentleman by the name of Bob Mariani, retired fire chief out of Kentfield. Bob lived in paradise, and like, you know, when I say the word lived in paradise, you know what happened. He lost everything. He left the house while the windows were cracking from the fire. So we're going to show you a videotape of the guys from Kentfield trying to make up for some of the lost artifacts that he lost in the fire. So with that, we'll end the broadcast with Bob Mariani receiving some trinkets of love from the Kentfield Fire Department. Thank you for watching.
I'm here with Bob Mariani. We're up in beautiful Lakeport, California. And for all you know, Chief Bob lost his house in the Camp Fire in November. And so yesterday, Chief Pomey from Kentfield came by the firehouse, or by my house, and knew I was coming up because you're not coming to the crab feed. We had a couple things to present to you. First is a beautiful patch from the KFD.
Yeah, mine all burned up, that's right.
That's right, yours are all burned up. Right? Okay. The next is something that is, I think, you'll really enjoy. Well, we know you lost everything, so there was some big thought by the guys at the firehouse and the chiefs and the board of directors at Kentfield to get you a new chief's badge.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Huh?
No shit. Yeah, that burned up.
Yeah. Right?
Everything burned up.
Everything burned up, and we
Well, that's
we
nice.
all feel what you went through. We don't understand what you're going through, but you know all the guys are here for you. And the other thing is
Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to make a little.
something
like
else
that.
for you is your Chiefs helmet,
Oh my God.
minus these. There you go. Put that on. Show all the boys.
It's still heavy.
They are heavy. There you go. That's from the Kentfield Fire District.
Well, goddamn, that's really neat.
Would you like to say something to them?
Thank you. Yeah, I lost everything. My helmet, my turnout coat.
But
Shit.
we're here for you. You know that.
That's pretty
Right.
cool.
So I hope Bob enjoys those things, and he was presented those gifts by Battalion Chief Jim Galley, retired out of Kentfield. And with that, we say goodbye. See you next month. Start asking those questions and start looking for that history. Thanks again. Bye.